What's up, guys? We're back at Jones Subwoofer Solutions. Got another amp to dyno today. It is the Mr. Musicman Audio Ear Candy 3800 Class D amplifier. It is rated 1500 watts RMS at 4 ohms, 2000 watts RMS at 2 ohms, and 3800 watts RMS at 1 ohm. It does boast that it has silver 0 gauge power and ground, 10 gauge speaker outputs, and you can see the other specs there. Does say minimum load 14 volts, 1 ohm. So we aren't going to run this any lower than 1 ohm today. It is a good looking amp, nice slick black case, and the Mr. Musicman logo there. It came with a phone cord style bass knob. It's one of the more simple, sorry, there we go. It's one of the more simple plastic bass knobs. Kind of a small knob, but that should work. And it did come with some mounting hardware for that. I do have my dual inputs hooked up. We're using 2-aught on the dual inputs, and I'm ready to see what this thing does. My understanding is that this is a fairly new company, not widely known, but I'm very interested in what this does. This looks to me like a very good amp. It doesn't say though, I was just looking, I'll have to look when we get it open. It doesn't say where it's made. So anyway, without any further ado, we will get to our amp dyno runs. Alright, we're ready to do our certified runs. Certified is up to 1% distortion. And we are going to start with 4 ohm, then do 2 ohm, then finish with 1 ohm. So this is 4 ohm certified. And we are starting at 15.35 volts. Again, this was rated 1500 watts at 4 ohms. Here we go. And we get 1667 watts into 4 ohms. It dropped to 15.19 volts. And we will try 2 ohms, which was rated 2000 watts. And we are starting at 15.31 volts. Here we go. Again, certified up to 1% distortion. And well past rated. 2,837 watts into 2 ohms. We dropped to 15 volts. And we will go back to 1 ohm. One ohm, it is rated 3,800 watts. All right, we're at 15.25 volts. Here we go. Wow, we got 4,277 watts into 1 ohm, dropped to 14.85 volts. Well above rated power here. And now we will go to uncertified. And we're going to start at 4 ohms. Uncertified is all the way to clipping. We're starting at 15.3 volts. 4 ohms again, rated 1500 watts. And we got 1,686 watts in the 4 ohms. Dropped to 15.1 volts. And 2 ohms. Two ohms rated 2,000 watts, starting at 15.29 volts. And we got 2,907 watts into 2 ohms, dropped to 14.97 volts. And we will do 1 ohm, where it already did rated uncertified, so I'm sure we'll see rated power here. Starting at 15.2 volts. Here we go. 1 ohm all the way to clipping. (4,394 watts into 1 ohm, dropped to 14.75 volts. Very good performance from this amp. And we'll go to dynamic, and we're going to start at 4 ohms. Dynamic is a burst track, and it is supposed to emulate music. 4 ohms dynamic, we're starting at 15.3 volts. Again, rated 1500 watts. And we got 1,708 watts into 4 ohms, dropping to 15.1 volts. This amp is doing more than rated all around. Pretty impressive. All right, dynamic 2 ohms. Again, dynamic being the burst track, burst 40 hertz track. We're starting at 15.27 volts, rated 2,000 watts. Here we go. We got 3,000 watts, over 3,000 watts, 3,010 watts into 2 ohms, dropped to 15 volts. Good dynamic power out of this amp. And lastly, we'll do a 1 ohm burst track. Start the dyno. We are starting at 15.23 volts. Here we go, dynamic 1 ohm. Wow, 5,471 watts into 1 ohm. We dropped to 14.98 volts. Very, very impressive results for this amp. Very impressive. All right, so that's it for the Mrmusicman 3800. If you guys want to hang on just a second, I'll post up all the results and we'll get the back plate off and we'll get a look inside. So hang on just a sec. Alright, so we've got the back of the amp plate off. We can get a good look inside this amp. And I'll tell you, this looks awesome inside. This is a beautiful amp. I really like the black circuit board. And just the way they've laid things out. I mean, this looks good. I do apologize. I am not an amp expert. I cannot tell you what each and every part is. I am trying to learn, but I'm a subwoofer guy, not an amp guy. But at least I can give you guys a look. So again, a very nice looking amp. Let me know what you guys think of this amp. Did more than rated power and looked good the whole time it was doing it. Get a better look at the end caps here. So it does have Tiffany style RCAs, has an input and an output. You can see there's a power and protect light. Your gain, the low pass filter goes from 40 to 180 Hertz. The subsonic or high pass filter is off up to 50 Hertz. You do have adjustable bass boost frequency from 30 to 80 Hertz and a 0 to 12 B boost on that. And let me get to the other end of the amp. And we have 10 gauge speaker outputs. And I am using 10 gauge. It looked like there was just a little bit of wiggle room, but it did fit in there nice. And those oversized 1/0 power and ground, my inputs fit in there easily, and actually my 2.0 welding cable did fit in there before I threw the dual inputs on. So very nice, good looking amp, performed on the dyno and looked good the whole time. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you have an amp you'd like to see dynoed. If you have any requests. I do want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. Please hit like, please subscribe, and hit the bell so you guys know when I post a new video. Again, thank you. I'll see you next time.
Three peanut butter jelly, see, found a job yet. Miles wanna call me, tell them that I'm on it. Say that I'm trying, but I'm lying when I'm rhyming. Working on a resume, gotta have you call back. Really, this mine if you think about it, right? This is my time, and they tell me that I grind. I know that, but it's nice to be reminded about that time and time again. What time is it? Don't really matter though. Not my money, got cash in an envelope. Got caught up, one call on the telephone, had to switch address, which way to let it go. They switch from the header.